The idea didn't come from me to adapt it. Two Canadian producers, Anthony Leo and Andrew Rosen, brought the project to us, brought the book to us in Cartoon Saloon. They had seen The Secret of Kells and thought that a similar, I guess, treatment might be an idea for the Breadwinner, or a similar approach, I suppose. So I read the book in an evening and absolutely fell in love with the character of Parwana and the way with which Deborah Ellis had written, for young adults, I think, in a way that didn't talk down to them, which was quite interesting, and it's a book that as an adult I really enjoyed. So I thought that if we could, the character of Parwana plus the idea of telling a story that was not talking down to young people, I guess, those were both ideas that really struck me. So.
Well, I had read the books years before, actually. I even knew that the book was being turned into a movie. I read the whole Breadwinner trilogy when I was 9 years old, and I absolutely fell in love with the character. The fact that she's so positive and that she's so determined and that she can set her mind to do something and she will always complete it. So I think that, the character's attributes and, her bravery definitely lured me to the book and definitely after the movie.
It was daunting as an Irish woman to make a story about Afghanistan, and a young girl growing up in Afghanistan. So I didn't take anything for granted. I talked to as many Afghan people as I could and tried to ingest as much as I could of the information, the history of Afghanistan, I guess, and the nature of conflict as well. I think so. That was probably the biggest challenge, was just telling a story about a culture that was not my own. So, but in some ways, I took less liberties than I have done with previous projects because I couldn't, It was always a film about contrasts, about the way that men were treated as opposed to the way the women were treated, life inside in a room when you're not allowed outside without a male relative, versus life in the marketplace, and the internal life versus the external life. I suppose these were all contrasts that were interesting. So we very much approached it that way and felt that we wanted to get something across in the real world, which was the vulnerability of life and Parwana's existence within that, and then just the exuberance of her imagination and her limitless imagination. I think that was it was quite interesting for us to approach that.
I mean, even just yesterday after the premiere, for example, I saw almost all the adults came out and they were, they were teared up and they really felt the movie and it really got to their heart. Yet there was this young girl who came out of the movie and she was skipping, she was having fun, she was laughing, and she came up to me and she said, "Hey, great job," and she said, "I like that girl on the screen. I want to be just like her." And, I feel like the adults, they understand what is, what we're trying to say on the screen. But the kids, they see the story and they see they see the things that are relatable to them, like Parwana fighting with her sister, or playing with her brother and telling him stories. So definitely the feedback from kids rather than adults is quite different. But I think it's great to have that diversity of feedback and opinions.